whole world is going mobile. This is not news, but it's clearly taken off in the past 2 years since the iPhone came about. It's all driven by smartphone penetration. In 2014, the number of global internet mobile users are going to surpass mobile desktop users. And as I said, it's all because of smartphone penetration and other types of devices that drive this mobile behavior. We are changing the way we act and the way we behave, and this will continue across the world and in generations to come. It means that we will have a reach and an intimacy at the same time that is never seen before. And the whole mobile behavior will change a lot of things when it comes to marketing and advertising and the way we interact with media. So just a few stats on the situation in the US, some of them pretty alarming. I come from the telecoms industry, and the fact that 90% of all US teens sleep with their cell phones is very disturbing because it can clearly not be very good for their brain. Unfortunately, I think it's true for all of us. We check the phone as the last thing before we go to bed, and it's probably also the first thing that we check before we get up in the morning. We are always aware of what's going on that screen. We may not always respond to it, but we know what's happening there. We're very receptive to it. The US mobile penetration rate is 96%, which is very high, or very high, I would say, but I think it's actually higher relatively. Smartphone penetration has gone up a lot in the past years, and it's now close to 40%. App revenues in 2011 will reach $3.8 billion, which is up 77% from last year, which is a staggering number. And this year, 18.1 million apps will be downloaded. This is fantastic. The mobile device is not just a device. It's not just one more screen. It's actually a prolongation of our arm. It's a remote control to our lives. It's something we can't live without. As I said, it's a space where we are very receptive. Arianna Huffington yesterday alluded to the fact that nobody really cared before that people were watching trash television, but now people are just doing that trash stuff on Facebook or on their mobiles or somewhere else. I think that this is the key to the whole mobile promise. It's the fact that we are so receptive on this device, and it catches us right in that moment when we are just in the need for communicating or taking in information that we can't do anywhere else. It may be on the way to work, on the way home from work, in other private situations. It's what I call the chocolate moment. The moment when we just want to consume media and not be disturbed. That's where we are reached by the mobile, and that's why it's so good for advertising. But it's not just about mobile, as I said. Tablets, very interesting in the US and across the world. We will see sales numbers in tablets increase exponentially this year, especially since there will be lower price versions coming out and a lot of new brands. Readers such as Kindles will be equipped with a browser, and this also means that the tablet experience will, and the tablet sales will go up a lot. In the US, tablets haven't been around for a long time. It's only a small amount of the population so far that actually has them, but they still stand for about 3% of all internet consumption in the US today, which is a staggering number. So again, it's not really about the phone. It's not necessarily about the tablet. It's not even about the PC. It's about us as users moving between different types of devices and consuming content across different platforms. This is really what mobile is about. Again, it's not a platform, it's a behavior. But in order to produce good media and good advertising, we then have to understand the behavior across these platforms. What is it that users do? What is it that they want to do, and where are they going? Well, when it comes to mobile, it's clearly email that leads, email and search that leads the ranking. It's about communication. After all, it's a communication device, and it's also kind of the map to our lives. Weather is a big thing, especially in the US, but I think it's pretty big in Europe too. The weather app in the US is something that I'm still European, check at least 5-6 times a day. I'm also very susceptible to advertising on it because, of course, when I check it, I'm in the mode for something, and people know that I may be traveling somewhere, I may be interested in if it's going to rain, and then I may need an umbrella, etc., etc., etc. This is also something that is special within mobile. You know a little bit more about the user than you normally would do, either through the type of content that you would consume or through the location where he is. media is the fourth ranking one, and I think this is very interesting because when I talk to agencies, I often hear that, coming back to this whole when is the year on mobile issue, well, we're sorry, last year wasn't the year on mobile because it was the year of social. And that's where we decided to spend our money. Wrong, I say, because if it was the year of social, it was clearly also the year of mobile. Social media is something that we, around 60% of the time, actually do on mobile